Hi and welcome to Skein Studio. My name is Kristen. You can find me on Instagram as Skein Yarn and on Ravelry as K10, that's K10. Hope you're all doing very well. It is again very hot here. I'm really looking forward to autumn beginning, and it's interesting, I think, because I can feel the change of season happening. I have started to cast on a lot of things. But yes, we have been very busy at work. I have been dyeing lots and lots of yarn and getting a new collection ready, which is the landscape collection. I'm going to be talking about that later, but I'm really excited about it. I've got all the colors here, and yeah, I'm just super pleased with them. Yes, I hope you're doing well. I want to mention our podcast knit along is just about finished. Tomorrow is the last day, so it's a Skein Tea knit along, which has a hashtag on Instagram. It is being run over on our Ravelry group, and I have not finished my make, but that's okay. I'm going to keep the thread open too, so we can post our finished objects when we finish them, if you haven't finished them at the end of the knit along, which is totally fine. There's no pressure. So I'm just looking at my notes. I'll talk about what I'm wearing first. I couldn't wear any knitwear today because it is just too hot, so I pulled this out of my cupboard, which is the Sagebrush tee by Friday Pattern Company. And I made this, I think, a couple of years ago, and I've made a couple of them actually. It's a really lovely pattern to sew. I did, the first one that I did was out of a cotton, very light cotton, I'm not sure what you call it, but it has like these little eyelets in the fabric. It's very pretty. It's a navy blue, and I actually wanted to wear that one today, but I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to do a little scratch around. But this is the second one that I made, and it is out of this lovely cotton gauze, which is really nice and cool. It is a little bit heavy though, the fabric, but it's not hot to wear. Yeah, so I really enjoyed sewing this one. And yeah, so okay, let's, I guess, move on. Let's talk about my knit along make, which is the Violet Tea by Jessica McDonald. I have that right, don't I? Yes, Jessica McDonald. I did actually knit quite a bit on this during the weekend because I actually was wanting to finish it, but I cast on something else, as is what happens, and yeah, I sort of put this down and started something else, but this will get finished. There's not much to do. So I have knit the whole body now, and I've done the lace at the bottom, which at the moment the lace looks it doesn't look fantastic because it hasn't been blocked, but as soon as the lace gets blocked, it's going to look amazing. The yarn that I'm knitting is a Merino linen, and I do find have I knit lace with this before? I do know with this yarn, when you first knit it up, because it doesn't have much of a memory, it sort of squishes up and it looks a bit wonky. But I have found as soon as you block it, give it a nice little wash and a block, then it smooths right out. You can even see, I can see with the stitches, they don't look quite even, but I do know once this is blocked, it'll look beautiful. So that's why the lace is looking a bit messy at the moment, but it will look great once it's all blocked. So yes, I've done the lace, which was very easy, very simple repeated pattern. Didn't really have to look at the chart. I knit the lace up very quickly, and I have cast on for the sleeve. Actually, what ended up happening was this is all I have left of my yarn, so I had to go to work when I was at work and dye up another skein, So I have that over there on the table, and it's a very simple colorway with speckles, so it can match. I can match it quite well. So yeah, I have picked up for the sleeve. I've knit a little bit, and they're short sleeves, so it won't take me very long. And then I've just got to do the second sleeve and then the neck, and then it's done. So really it won't take me that long to do. And yeah, the color is New Beginnings, and it's on our Llano base. And I'm pretty sure I have knit this top using, I would have used 3 skeins of our Llano. It's just a bit of a bummer that the third skein will only really be the sleeves and the neck, so I'll have quite a bit of that yarn left over, but I will use it for something else, I'm sure. Alright, my nose is so itchy. I have every single time at this time of year when it comes round to autumn, I start getting really bad allergies. So it's always autumn and spring. It's the worst time. And also this morning when I was getting ready, I actually put face cream in my eye, and it's running. So I've got all the things happening. What else? Let's talk about Thru Line's Shawl by Andrea Mowry. So I cast this on, I think I showed you the beginning of this last podcast, and I've knit quite a bit. I really, really love this pattern. So initially when I cast on, I saw the stitch pattern and thought, it's going to be one of those ones where you really got to have to pay attention. I did write the stitch pattern out as I showed you last. I showed you last podcast, which was very helpful. I just did a sort of abbreviated version that I understood, so I could just glance quickly at the pattern, what I'd written down, and I knew which row I was on. But really, after doing a few repeats, and I think there's around 12 rows per repeat, it's fine. You just get used to it and you know what you're doing, and it is actually very addictive. Well, I have found it really addictive to knit. It's really, really nice pattern. And what I was thinking about this morning when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about today, what I really love about this design and these kind of shawls, because the Sophie shawl is a similar sort of shape, and I knit that, was it last year or the year before. They are not very wide, but they're very long, so when you're actually knitting them, they go really quickly because you're not working on many stitches at a time. So this is a sort of mishmash of textured stitches and slip stitches, as well as of course the stripes. And did I say this is from Andrea Mowry? I'm not sure, but yeah, lovely, really, really enjoying it. I am almost ready to do the decrease. I think I have maybe a repeat or 2 left, and then we'll start decreasing. I have heaps of my contrast colors, and then the main color I have almost finished. I have 1 skein of this, as in like I've got another extra skein, so that's all good, and that's exactly as the pattern says, 2 skeins of a main color and 1 each of the contrast. I'm using Eclipse, which is a tonal brown. It has a kind of purpley blue undertone with a bit of gold. It's really lovely, and every time I dye up this color, oh, I should mention this is sport weight yarn. This is our Sportlicious. But every time I dye up this yarn, I always think I really want to knit a sweater with this, so I'm definitely going to do that, because I think, wouldn't that look lovely? Just the dark brown with a pop. I think that would look beautiful in a colour work. So that's on the cards. So this is Eclipse, this is Fluro Peach, and my favourite of ours, which I use as a neutral all the time, is Tequila. And we did have kits in the shop. This particular kit has now sold out. You can easily make up your own kit by going to our shop. We do dye to order all of our colorways, our regular colorways. There's a dye to order link, and you can click on that. All of our bases you can order, so you can easily get this. But we do have another 2 kits, or is it 3 kits? Anyway, they're neutral colors, grays, and with pops of like orange. And anyway, there is a link down below, so you can go and check that out. And I do also know that Andrea Mowry will be holding a March knit along, which is exciting. And I must have a look at that, because I'm not sure if whips are included. If they are, I have one of her, well, I've got this and then another one, another project of hers on the needles, or I might even have a look and cast on something. I am actually thinking of knitting my sister-in-law a sweater for her birthday, so I did think maybe I might knit another nebula for her, but yeah, I'm still thinking about that. So that's the Through Lines by Andrea Mowry. Great project. It's a lot of fun to knit. I'm finding it a lot of fun to knit, and yeah, it's going to be great for winter. We don't actually need very heavy scarves here in Coffs Harbour. It's actually pretty mild winter, but this will be really nice to wear. Okay, now I'm going to talk about socks, which I cast on. This is a cute little project bag that I got years and years and years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was sent to me as a gift when I was doing the podcast, because I had bought one of her bags. It's Bling Your String. I'm pretty sure I had mentioned her, and she sent me one as a gift. And I use this all the time. This has traveled around the world with me on all of my trips. I take this on the airplane, I put my knitting in it, I put like Panadol and a little comb and like whatever I need, I shove it in there, and then it's got a little zip. So when I'm sitting on the seat in the plane, I can just leave it and nothing's going to fall out. It's like the most handy little bag I've ever had. So I cast on some socks for my dad for Easter. He loves his hand knit socks in winter, and I'm using that's the only thing I hate, is when you put things in project bags, how tangled they can get. Oh no, and stitches have come off. Hang on one second. I don't have glasses on, so I can't see what I'm doing. That's it. So this is one of our Sugar Rush sock sets. It is the apple turnover with Spirulina Smoothie. All of the names are pretty long, and yeah, I'm glad they're just one-off colours, because then I don't have to remember all the names, but they're fun to name actually. So it is this really pretty sort of sapphire blue with sort of toffee colour, which I love, browns, and it will micro stripe. It's already starting to micro stripe, which is really fun. I did use the contrast colour, which is this really bright blue, which is a lot of fun. Actually, it's probably not, this is the worst blue to photograph. It is a real turquoisey, aquary, very saturated colour, but it always comes out like a dull blue. It's a real shame, because it's a gorgeous colour. But I decided to knit a couple of stripes at the top of the sock, just because. I might put some stripes in the sock itself, I'm not sure. I will definitely be doing a contrast heel. And the pattern that I'm using is our vanilla sock pattern, which is a freebie. I use this all the time. It's just a simple top-down sock, nothing special. But yeah, this is why I love socks, because I can no matter where I am in the sock pattern, I know where I am. I can put it down for months and pick it up, and I know exactly where to go. Yeah, they're great little in-between projects too. So when I'm not sure what I want to cast on, I can just sort of knit on a sock for a while and have a think. And they're also really good for when I'm maybe a little bit too tired to be doing other knitting. I can just pick it up and at night and watch TV, and at least I've got something in my hands, because I'm sure you're all the same, but when I just can't sit still. I never can sit still, and when I'm watching TV I find it really hard, and I find I'm fidgeting all the time, and I'm probably not really paying attention to what's happening on the TV. But if I have knitting in my hands, it just feels so good, and yeah, I can relax. It's strange, but I know you probably all have the same thing. So yeah, really enjoying that, and hopefully I'll get that done for Easter for my dad. What else? I have other projects in my basket which I haven't worked on at all. I have my Wildwood sweater, which is this, it's one of my designs. It's very, very hot, as I said. This is mohair and fingering weight yarn, and it's really, I have the whole jumper done. I'm just doing sleeves, so having the weight of that on my lap while I'm working with it isn't great at the moment. So that'll probably get finished when the weather cools down a bit, which will be great because I don't have a lot to do, and I'll be able to wear it when I finish it. I also have the Traveler's Shell cardigan by Andrea Mowry on my needles. That was using our frizz base, which is a fingering weight boucle, and I haven't touched that. I have been doing lots of other stuff, but I will get back to that because I really want to finish it and wear it. I do have one other thing that I've cast on. This is a Satama Shawl by Veera Välimäki, and I had earmarked this when it was released because I really, really like the design. It's a crescent shaped shawl, which I really love. It has sections of garter stitch, brioche, stockinette with short rows, and I'm pretty sure the border is garter stitch. And when I had dyed up some of the colours for our new collection, one of them really caught my eye, which is this one. It is Moonglade, and I love this sort of tealy green colour. I always tend to go for more, well actually that's not true, I was going to say I tend to veer towards bluer greens, but that's not true. I actually really like the bluer greens, and then on the far end of that spectrum the sort of grellos. So this is our El Merino, which is 100% superwash merino. It's a lovely, lovely yarn. So I ended up casting it on. Hey Riku. I've got the door open so she can come in and out. I just hope she doesn't start meowing. So this is it knit up, and our landscape colours they're subtle colours, but I wanted to still have something interesting happening. So they do have speckles and kind of colour shifts, but it's not like our Spice collection, which is really bright and in your face. This is very much subtle, toned down, natural kind of colours with some interest. So yeah, you can see there's, well probably, I don't know if you can see it, but there's pops of gold and like an aubergine and purple. So when you look up really close, there's all these lovely things happening. And then I paired that with topaz. Now this is one of my favorite color combinations, is green and pink. This is a peachy pink. Topaz has pops of bright orange and sort of mossy green, and it contrasts really well with the Moonglade. So yeah, I have done quite a lot of this actually. It's a really easy pattern. I highly recommend this one. If you're new to brioche, this is a really good one to start with, because it is just simple brioche with very simple increases. As you can see, this is the right side, so the topaz is just peeking through, and of course when you turn it over you can see the topaz very well on that side. So I have finished the first brioche section, and I am going into the short row. So this will be cut, and then the short rows will be in topaz, and then that happens for a little while, and then we end up merging back into the teal again later on. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the needle size for the pattern was 3.5. I don't know what that is in US, that's millimeters. And then I couldn't find any 3.5s. I've got a lot of projects happening, and I sort of put needles with projects, and when I finish them I kind of leave them in the bag, or I've put them in my basket. So, and then I end up going through everything and collecting them all. So that's what I need to do, because I just could not find, I know I've got thousands of them. So yes, I ended up working with a 3.75, which is still great. And yeah, that's all of my knitting. I do have plans to cast on a blanket still. I have a ton of what do you call it, leftover balls of DK weight yarn, so I will be doing that when the weather cools down. And I also I really want to cast on another sweater, a colourwork sweater this time, which is what I was thinking of. I was thinking of using the Equinox colour for the main colour, and then something fun for the colour work, although I do really still want to use one of the highly variegated colours for the colour work. So yes, I am still thinking about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my knitting. Okay, so tomorrow, Friday, we will be releasing our new collection, which is the landscape collection. And so normally when I release new colors, I don't do them in collections, I just release them as I sort of dye them. And I've never really been a dyer that has done collections, but I've got to say I can see why dyers do it. I started the Spice collection at the beginning of the year to have fun with color and just to splash some fun bright colors, do some variegated colors, and I really enjoyed it. And I like having that limitation of working within a theme. It's kind of, in a weird way, it's very freeing. So I decided, I have the very bright and variegated Spice collection. How about doing something that's more subtle and nature inspired? So that's where I got the idea for the landscape collection. So this will be, the collection itself is going to run for the whole of the year. I'm going to be adding new colors, and I'll be dyeing the colors that I've already come up with on different bases. So I'll be adding to it throughout the year. And this week I've decided, for this collection I've decided what I'm going to do is concentrate on a color at a time. So this week's color is going to be green. So I've done all the hues of green. Well, not all of them, I mean there's like millions of them, but I've done hues from almost yellow, so grello, to almost blue, so the teals and the aquas and that sort of thing. And yeah, it's been fun. And then I've done a few sort of colors in between, like colors that still incorporate green but aren't green. So for instance, I've done some purples, a purple actually, purpley brown and a little pink, but it still has the green in it. So I showed you the first one. I'm gonna have to put on my glasses. So this is Moonglade, which is the one I showed you that I'm knitting the shawl. I've done, okay, so I'm kind of obsessed with yellow green, which funnily enough I have my jumper here. This is the Spice Colour Kismet, and that's yellow green. But yeah, I've dyed up these beauties, and they're very much, they remind me of lichen and moss. So this is called Nature Walk. This has like a kind of a subtle chartreuse. It's not a really bright chartreuse. It's sort of dulled down. And then it's got pops of peach and this lovely sort of rust and brown. So that's Nature Walk. And then I've done this one, which is a bit brighter, Kaokan. And all the names are names from nature. So this is a Welsh name, I believe. And yeah, this one has pops of moss and again peach and sapphire. And then we've got these two, which is kind of reminds me of grasslands, which is beautiful. This is Paper Daisy. Paper Daisy is actually a native flower here in Australia, and when you find them, the petals of them feel like paper. They're amazing, and they are all different colours, but there is a beautiful yellow Paper Daisy. And Picture Perfect. So you can see the greens do have, I've used the contrast of green, which is like a warm orange. So I've speckled that in, and I have used a little bit of purple in them too. So I have a creamy coloured one with speckles that's got lots of green, moss and purple speckles, and then I'll show you just a couple more. One sort of brighter green. This is Springtide, and again, yeah, it's very springy green colours. I really love this one. This is Pine Forest. I almost use this for the shawl. I do love this really dark kind of, it's not an olive green, it's like a kelp green. It's beautiful. And what's another? Oh, I'll show you a bluey. So this is sort of aqua, so it's going into the blue now. So this is called Aber. And as you can see, it's got this gorgeous aqua and sage with speckles of gold and moss and kelp. So yeah, lots and lots of colors. I've dyed, I think I dyed 16 different colors, and they will be going in the shop tomorrow. They are on our Merino base, which I spoke about earlier. And yeah, I will be adding more colors and more bases as the year progresses. So I'm really excited about this one. Yeah. So it's a bit of a shorter episode this week, but that's okay. Hope you're all doing really well, and I will be back in 2 weeks to talk more knitting and yarn and hopefully some sewing. I am waiting for the weather to cool down a bit before I start sewing again. Yeah, it's just a bit too hot at the moment to do anything really. Anyway, so I hope you're all well. Come and find me on Instagram, and come join the Ravelry group. Please put any comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. It's always so lovely to read your comments, and if you have any questions, just ask away. And oh, I was going to talk about variegated yarn, but again I've forgotten, and I didn't bring any home. I will do that. Actually, I have plans of doing a video on how I alternate skeins for variegated yarns and how to get them nice and even, the colors, so without pooling. I do have plans to do that. It's just finding time. but that is on the cards, and I will answer the question that I got about variegated yarns at another time. But yeah, anyway, okay, that's it. I'm babbling, so I hope you're all well, and thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.